The Producer.
What's up, YouTube? Alright, so just driving home right now. Just did some more data logging with the tuner vision and went well. All the temps seem fine. Boost I hit about 10 psi, and the AFRs look good. So OST definitely dialed back my timing. I mean, they were kind of scared basically for me, you know, popping the motor because of the 91 octane with that much boost. So since I went down from the 14 pounds to the bigger pulley, they don't have the timing that strong right now, because you know they don't like a lot of timing on 91. So I'm going to put in the E85 tonight with the Proflex Commander. I went ahead and like I said, logged all this stuff right now, so I'm gonna do a little comparison for them with the Proflex Commander and without it. So I should be able to throw the 85 in tonight, and then maybe log with the 85. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the E85 in. I got the jug almost ready, and I got the Proflex Commander brain here. The harness is still wired in, so all I have to do is get this in. After I get the E85 in, like I mentioned, this is only 3 gallons, so I want to just kind of try it out at home, turn it on, check the log, and then if it's responding well, which I'm sure it will, then I'll go ahead and start filling up on E85. So let's get it in. Oh, fail. First time. Do it this way. Cool thing is it does smell better than 91. A little sweet, a little sweeter. I like this good. That's about all of it. Go ahead and cap it off. It does smell better, I gotta admit. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the brain in there and see if I have time to run it and log it today. So since the harness was already done, pretty much just like that. Nice click means it's good. Let me try to situate this in here now. Okay, I just finished installing the brain here, so I just set it right in there. I have a cover that's going to sit on top of this, and a cover that's going to sit on top of that, so it'll be fine down there. I'm just going to leave it in there for, I don't know, probably a couple months until I can get the firewall cover all cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and probably switch over to the GoPro and try to turn it on. Alright, so I'm in the car right now on the GoPro, so if it looks and sounds different, that's why. I'm just gonna log while I start the car, see what things kind of look like by comparison. So let me start this, start the car. check the app. I can smell the 85 already. Roll up the windows here. So I talked to Gray today, and he did tell me the car would probably run a little richer. So let's see if this works now. Oh yeah, it does. So before I was having problems actually getting this on. Just so you know, or when anybody's watching this, what you do is you go up here first and you click on your settings, and then you type in location, because this wasn't working for me yesterday. So you'll type in location, and then you click on it if you got a Droid, and you go to app permissions, and then you got to make sure under app permissions that when you go here to location, you want to make sure that you turn on the Proflex commander. So before, when I tried this last night, my Proflex commander was not enabled, so I couldn't see my reading. So it's right here, Proflex Connect. Make sure that that's on there. So now I'm getting AFRs look pretty good. He did say it was going to run a little richer, so if you got a Whipple and you're doing this kit on it, you should see a little bit richer AFRs. So if I go back in here to the app, you can see the car's got 36% ethanol, and I did put 3 gallons in the tank. Previously I had already probably a quarter of a tank, so that's about a quarter of 91 and a quarter of E, and that station I'm only sitting at 35%, so that's been sitting overnight. Yeah. So it looks like it's still kind of settling down. What's different, the short-term fuel trims are pumping out much more fuel. That's definitely different from just the normal 91 tune. So I'm gonna go ahead and log this and send it off to Gray, just so he can cross-check it with my stock tune, just to make sure this is normal. I'm sure it is, because it's obviously adding more fuel, because, you know, we're running what is it, like 35% E85 now. Yeah, so it's sitting at 35%. So I'm probably even going to go fill up with E85, see what that brings us up to. Don't do it. Okay. Still trying to get the hang of this app. But yeah, I mean, overall, as long as I don't see, you know, knock retard in there, which I'm sure I'm not going to, because it's E85, should be good. So that's the only difference I can see so far. And then I'm sure I'll see the injector duty cycle go up. As you heard, everything went fine. And I put my cover back on my Proflex down here. So it's just going to chill down there. And this is the battery, or the fuse box there. In the meantime, so can't really tell it's there, but you know it's there. And something I learned, I talked to Gray earlier about the way I got it wired up. And I was told I can do it the way I did it, which is the sensor currently that's back there is wired on the return side of this rail. So I have this feed right here, this return fuel line is feeding the sensor, and then the sensor then feeds the regular, or the regular then feeds, no, right, the return side from the sensor then feeds the regulator. Gray told me that's going to be a little bit of a delayed calculation from the sensor, since it's not in front of the rail. So if you're watching this and you got a Whipple or return style setup, he suggested obviously put it on the input side of the rail. In order to do that, the sensor is a 6-AND connection, and the dual fuel pump setup is an 8-AND connection. It's a bigger hose, so you can't make the two happen. So what you got to do is you got to take your feed line from this Y block, you got to hit another Y block, That Y block will have a 6-amp connection on one side feeding the sensor, and then on the other side of the Y block it will be an 8-amp to another Y block, so those two will tie into a second Y block, and then that Y block will feed the rail. Because the sensor will kind of shrink the feed connection if you wire it directly from the feed to the rail. So you have to you know, you don't want to step it down like that, because you'll bottleneck your fuel. So he said that's how it should be done, and I'm gonna do it like that. I'm just not gonna do it right now. So there's the only kind of thing to look out for is that, you know, since it's going to be a little bit delayed of an ethanol content reading, you know, obviously don't do any wide open throttle pulls like right when you leave a gas station. So I'm going to give, you know, the car some time to, you know, get the fuel through the rail back to the sensor so they can do its calculations, and then, you know, the car will be running the way it's supposed to. So that makes sense, because I was seeing some weird readings on the cold start yesterday. Just a tip for anybody else who's watching this, but that's the way to do it. And so the car should be good to drive. OST already sent me a revised tune with some more timing in it, so they said right there this should feel a little more aggressive. So what I'm gonna do though, I'm not gonna upload that tune just yet. I'm gonna run the car on this current tune, log with it, kind of get a feel for a difference if there is a difference. I'm gonna hit the E85 pump first, fill up, get a reading on the content, then take it for a drive, do some wide open pulls, hopefully be recording that, and then empty it out, throw it back on 91, run 91 through it, and then another tank of 91, come back, and then put this in. That's the only kind of tricky thing about this, is all my tuning is on 91, so I don't want to confuse the situation and tune on 85. So I have to make sure I only have 91 in the tank when I'm doing tuning. So, but I think going forward, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have OST do me a dedicated 85 tune, and then I'm gonna have my 91 tune. But then I'll also have the Proflex Commander, which will be doing most of my, you know, daily drive and freeway driving, because I can go 85 or 91, still have some, you know, some wide open throttle capabilities and still be safe. But when I really want to get on it, or around a car show or some shit, you know, then I'll throw the 85 dedicated tune in there to run a little more power. OST has really been killing the tuning. I can't say enough good things about them. Highly recommend them, especially if you're Whipple or ProCharge. They know their stuff, and you know, they'll give it to you straight what they think, whether they think it's safe or not, you know, and suggest some options. So I am absolutely willing to have them make me up an E85 tune, because I know it's going to be legit, and they've taught me some things about, you know, what I'm looking at and what to look for. So but yeah, that's where we're sitting. The car's good, and Proflex Commander's in and working. Next is just to, you know, go out and do some more testing. But I think we're good for now. Thanks for watching. Peace.